When I feel just a little too lonely, I like to take matters into my own hands and make my own friends. We need to pick our first color together. I have some yellow. I have one red balloon, very special. I have some purple. And then I have these interesting see-through balloons with yellow confetti in the bottom of it. I'm very excited to try this out. What should we pick? I don't know. Have you heard of choice paralysis? I suffer greatly from this every day at the grocery store. I think we're gonna go with this stretchy blue for our first friend. Who will he be? All done. Okay, so I'm trying to find a personality for him. What calls to me? We'll make this one a boy. I already called him he. And his name is Ethan. Ethan. Here. Ethan is a very practical, dependable guy. His profession is civil engineer. Pretty impressive, I guess. Ethan, in his downtime, enjoys nature. Quite interesting. He goes on long hikes. He takes pictures with his phone camera of beautiful landscapes. His coworkers don't really appreciate it, but he doesn't mind either. I'm just giving him some eyes. Very sweet but tired eyes. Here. Do you see this? Yeah. He works hard and he plays hard. You know, what can you do? He's got some pupils now. It looks a little bit scary without the context of the rest of the face. I always run into this problem. So we'll quickly fix him up. Oh. And we'll give him a very big smile. I make all of my balloons smile because I like to imagine that they're happy to be at this little gathering of all of these fellow balloons, you know. go. Here. His smile is very wide. He, is a very calm, emotional, steady kind of guy. Overall charismatic, but he still gets stuff done. He's a civil engineer. These people are serious. Ethan grew up in a small town on a mountain village. That's where he gets his sort of nature enjoyment of scenery and nature from. He has that bone in him. Now he designs infrastructure. I think he's happy to be here. Welcome, Ethan, to my party. Okay. Next up, I have this yellow balloon. Here we go. Okay. She seems to have a very bright disposition. I will make her a little lady named Ava. Big fan of that name. Here. Ava, much like Ethan, but in a different light, is also very adventurous. She's very witty. She has a great sense of personality. Very joyous, very bright, as her color would indicate. Here are her eyes and some eyebrows. This young adventurer is a travel journalist. Here we go. A nice little lady. Let's give her some eyelashes, actually. This young lady, as I said, is very witty. She writes a lot of quick stories in her blog and in her various freelance work. She left her office job to follow her dreams and follow her creative spirit, and now she's out in the world with just her and her backpack. But she's come by to visit because what's a party without an adventurous young lady like Ava, Thank you, Ava, for coming to my party. In a way, they can mingle, Alright. What I really am looking forward to is to see how this confetti looks in this blown up balloon. Let's give her a go. We're crazy. Did you hear that? That was fantastical. Oh my goodness. And we have one more. So, stick around. I do unfortunately have to tie these off camera. I believe I wouldn't be able to do this in any timely manner otherwise. Here we go. That sounds delightful. To match her fun exterior, I will make this young lady, Chloe, a creative, expressive, and curious woman. Her profession is graphic designer. She uses her art in her everyday life, you know? And she's so full of ideas. She's into makeup and thrifting. She's really into aesthetics, you know, and she likes to express it in her own visual style. She has a big open smile. She's very talkative. She's always down to chat, you know? And honestly, this is what gives her ideas in her everyday job. She's been drawing since she was a little child, but she found her love for graphic design in high school, making posters for various local shows. Isn't she a character? All right. Thank you, Chloe, for coming to my party. Next up, I have this big purple balloon. Big purple balloon. Big purple balloon. I love the sound of the rubber against my fingers. I already have to brainstorm for ideas. I think to balance out the genders a little bit, we will make this one a handsome young gentleman. Okay? Here we go. I will name this young lad Mason. Mason is a personal trainer. He's very fit and he's very disciplined. I want to give him a positive canthal tilt because Mason is very handsome and secretly he browses looksmaxing forums. Much like Chloe, Mason is also into visual aesthetics, but he lives it out in a very different way. He goes to a lot of bodybuilding competitions. He works on his physique. He cares about his body and his health. He's highly motivated. He's energetic. He's at the gym every day, not just because it's his job, but because he needs to do it. I'm giving him a very satisfied kind of smile. And some hollow, deep-set cheekbones. Although they kind of look like sideburns. You know what Mason reminds me of? He reminds me of that image of some Roblox character who looked particularly handsome and chiseled. But that was not my intention at all, and Mason is actually quite the unique individual, and he would not appreciate being compared to anyone else. Still, I think it is nice to have a strong spirit at any social gathering, and I would like to thank Mason for coming to my party. You might find it strange that I am gently caressing Mason's bald head, but it is in fact very satisfying, and I think he appreciates it too. Next, I have this solid red balloon. It was the only red balloon in the entire pack, so I believe it to be particularly special, and I want to give him a very unique personality. I think as a name, I will give him Jackson. Jackson, as suggested by his bright color, I would like you to meet Jackson. Jackson is a radio host, although in his mind, he is a true rock star. He plays the guitar, and he plays the drums, and he plays the fiddle, which he picked up when he was a small child, and he doesn't really identify with the instrument anymore. This is Jackson. He looks a bit odd, perhaps, but, we all love him still. Jackson, the radio host, also enjoys trivia nights, and he hosts his own special podcast on local music and subculture. He is generally very cheerful, very sociable, and he will have a great time chitting and chatting at this party. So I would like to thank Jackson for attending my balloon party. Here I have another blue balloon, and I'm just trying to think of some new names and some new jobs and some new personalities, but it'll come to me in just a second. There is something very calming, very demure about the color blue, and I would like to give her a personality that fits her exterior in this way. Okay. I will name her Grace. Okay. Grace is very kind, very patient. It's okay. It's okay. Grace, the museum curator, is very kind and patient and thoughtful. She might be a bit coy when meeting new people, but she brings a calm and warm energy to any environment, which is really appreciated. So she is invited to any gathering, any party I throw. As indicated by her profession, she enjoys art history and historical artifacts, but in her own free time, she also likes to go antiquing, and she sketches and paints. She has a real creative bone in her body. So I would gladly like to thank Grace for coming to my party. I'm just giving her little head pats and little chin scratches. Okay. Lastly, I have another one of those confetti balloons that sounded so delightful to blow up earlier, so I'm very happy to be doing this again. One last time. Here we go. This young man's name is Caleb. He is a very lively sort of character. I just gave him these thick eyebrows. Caleb with a very goofy little smirk, but he's a charm to be around. Caleb is bold and outgoing and entrepreneurial, okay? Because Caleb is a restaurant owner. He owns his own Italian restaurant that he started himself, okay? He is very good at cooking and he enjoys it very much. He likes to make various sort of fish dishes. He's very passionate, very expressive, okay? And he does not appreciate laziness and sloth-like behavior. Caleb is always a delight to have at parties, although he might get a little too tipsy. But he's always a blast, and I'm so happy to have him at my balloon party. I feel so much less lonely now that I can spend some time with my very own balloon friends, and I'm glad that you got to meet them all too. I hope this was as fun for you as it was for me, and I wish you all a wonderful rest of your night. And thank you so much for watching.